last week where students who are part of the student leadership team at Hallett Cove School identified a whole range of issues which affect them. We're going through a process, the PDSA cycle, to examine those issues, analyse them, and I guess allow students to make some informed decisions about the best ways to improve the system in which they work.
Student leaders from years 5 to 11 across the school were formed into 10 improvement teams. These teams each considered how well the school was meeting its stated purpose, vision and values, and identified issues that could be addressed to better achieve these. These issues were then prioritised by the students and became the focus of their improvement teams. Each team was supported by a school leader experienced in PDSA and the tools.
During the course of this week, we followed the PDSA cycle to help solve the problem of teachers not listening to students.
Today we are presenting the PDSA cycle on how students can have more of a say in their work. We are Group 10 and we were working on the problem of not enough extracurricular activities.
Our topic was teacher-student relationships.
My group and I have been working on information communication technology.
Our problem was students' attitude towards learning.
The student improvement teams were provided with a full day of training in the Plan, Do, Study, Act cycle. During this day they were introduced to and were able to practice a number of the quality tools they would use to address their opportunity for improvement.
We're going to train you today in the tools and the process, and then for the remaining 4 days you're going to work on an opportunity for improvement within the school that is of interest to you that you can really make a difference with.
On Monday we got to learn the tools, so then we know what to do with these quality learning tools, the different charts and tables to help organise our thinking, ready for today and the rest of the week when we're applying those tools to our own problems to help sort through the school problems.
Establishing the teams and clarifying the opportunity for improvement was the focus of the first day. Each team established its own code of cooperation to provide a foundation for effective team behaviour. They also created a team parking lot to capture ideas and issues as they progressed through the PDSA cycle. Step 2, clarify the opportunity for improvement, involved development of a problem statement as well as collection and analysis of stakeholders' needs and perceptions.
This is our code of cooperation, and pretty much what this is for is so that we have sort of like a set of rules in our group. And in our group we have 11 rules, which includes let others have a go and make sure everyone gets a turn to speak.
So to come up with our problem statement we had to go through interviews and processes of sorting out the problem. We've come up with a current situation. We've also come up with impact on the school, so what the littering's doing to the environment, our reputation on the school, and how it's impacting the students and teachers at the school. And we've also come up with our desired result, which is what we want in the end result for the school to look like and for the school to feel better and be more positive.
Yeah. We all have a calculator here.
75.
To get our perception analysis, we formed a focus group to find out our client requirements, which are all these things here.
And pretty much everyone's input was enormous. Then we went out and surveyed a bunch of group people from different classes and different year levels.
This is all the data we collected up here, and then we averaged it, and then we formed another focus group and found out their comments.
It's telling us that so to get a good job it's really important, but the current performance of the school is not very important, so we chose to get a good job and to understand how life works outside of school. These are our sort of focus points right now.
On the second day, each team sought to more deeply understand the current situation and identify the root causes of the problem they were addressing. The fishbone diagram was used to identify and to document possible causes, which were then prioritised with multi-voting hot dot. An interrelationship diagram was used to identify root causes.
How can teachers better communicate with students? What needs to change for teachers to understand students? All good.
So we've got the root causes, which are the topics with the most outlines, and we've got 4 there, so that's the main root cause, and so is this one.
Change yard supervision.
By the third day, the teams were ready to develop the theory for improvement. They used a potential improvements matrix to identify possible solutions for each root cause. Where necessary, these were spelled out as practical actions. The possible solutions were then prioritised, and teams developed a recommended plan of action in the form of a Gantt chart.
We got this out of our interrelationship diagram. So we've got non-interesting work and not enough choice in our schoolwork. For not enough interesting work, we've got no moody teachers, group work, hands-on activities and visual text. For the no moody teachers, we got a question mark because we'd like more information, because we can't really say, oh, well, you can do this, this and this to make a teacher less moody.
This is our Gantt chart. We're going to have a big meeting talking to all the teachers around the school, because our topic was more student input in their work. Every colour represents which week we're going to do it in, and we've got all the way up to week 19, so it might take us a few months to do this.
On the final day, each team completed a formal report outlining their activities, conclusions and recommendations. The teams formally presented their findings to the school leadership team, including their colleague student leaders. The school has since determined that the majority of recommendations will be implemented and their impact evaluated to complete the PDSA cycles.
In the week of Monday the 25th, we were part of a training course from Quality Learning Australia, where we learned the PDSA cycle.
We used a perception analysis to have a deeper understanding, gather different perspectives, identify when clients' needs aren't being met, and to find opportunities for improvement.
Students wanted a choice in their tasks. Students wanted a good teacher who was both understanding and knowledgeable. Students wanted to know how they'd been assessed, and students also wanted a friendly and safe environment.
Student-teacher relationships were our initial focus. Through processes such as brainstorming ideas, surveys, perception analysis, affinity diagrams, fishbone diagrams, and multi-voting hot dogs, our group recognised that our current problem was not a problem.
We found that most teachers agree to help students, spending time with students, listening to the views and opinions of students, and creating a respectful working and learning environment. By interviewing the teachers, we found they do this by following school processes and rules, listening to students' opinions and views, and being attentive and fair.
As a group, we found possible solutions for littering at HCS. We used a potential improvement matrix. Our solutions were chosen by how possible they are and the impact they have, such as more bins in populated areas, like the Oval and the canteen.
We focused on 2 key findings that were the teachers were giving poor explanations of tasks to students and that students were disrespecting others. From these findings, we have 3 recommendations. Teachers letting students explain the task to each other. Let students have a say in task design. And then the last idea was to Year 10-12 jury discipline.
Create discussions within classes and year levels to discover what students need and how to incorporate this into lesson plans. Have known consequences for if work is handed up late or if a student is unorganised. Have teachers plan together so that due dates are not all on the same day or week. And make matrices to guarantee that all students know when assignments are due.
Our solutions to our issue include doing more work in group or teams, more hands-on work and practicals in subjects such as maths and English, having a choice on how we present our work instead of having only one choice, and being allowed to have a choice in what groups we work in and how many people are in them, of course with a limit.
As a group, we recommended to raise money by fundraising, especially for ICT within the school. We are also recommending that a student IT help team be formed in support of all students in Hallett Cove School.
We learned that many times you need to change ideas after you see things from a different point of view.
We have made new friends with people we would have never thought of even speaking to.
We have worked super well as a team, and I just
really want to say it's been an honour working with these guys. Thank you for being a part of this speech, and thank you for listening to our PDSA cycle. Look out for the changes in the school as we are following them up shortly with Ms Lambert.
The PDSA cycle provides a structure and a clear process that people can work through, that is inclusive of all voices, regardless of whether you're the very young, the very old, the very vociferous or the very quiet. There's a clear process there for everyone to have a voice, to everyone be heard, and of course, in that inclusiveness, the outcome is one which meets everybody's needs.